Hey everybody, day 2 on this video series, and I actually had a completely different topic planned. I have right next to me on my work table, hold on, you can pivot and see, I had all these bags of supplies that I was going to have a whole video about getting suppliers and like where I store them and our subscriptions and that sort of thing. But since I'm trying to make this a video series on actually more of the, like a day in the life of running a small business out of your home, it would only be appropriate that I actually cover the topic that I ended up spending most of my time doing, which was fighting with, let me back up a little bit, fighting with Facebook and social media scheduling, which might not be as fibery and beautiful and fun as the topic I had planned, which I guess is what will end up happening tomorrow while my kids are at camp. I was at a house full of kids. We had kind of a play date today. We're in that last couple weeks of summer, so this is definitely later in the day, and my kids will probably start wandering around in the back here in a second if I don't hurry up. Then I normally would like to be filming a video, but I have made a promise to be here, so here I am. So, long story short, if you ever, and I always laugh, I think I've said in other videos, it makes me laugh when people will look at like a brand, like some sort of a post on Instagram or Facebook, and then get like mad about like, how dare you be talking about that now, like if something happens in the news or whatever. And so many things are scheduled in advance, and that is definitely a tremendous help. No bigger brand, definitely, but even smaller brands, if you're trying to get out ahead of what you're doing, which lets you actually have children and a family and live your life, if you can plan things, and I definitely want to get more into marketing planning in another video, and then schedule it out. And there's different options for doing that, and that's kind of, I've got some screen shares. So the first thing, actually it was something else. The first scheduler I ever had was for something with Pinterest, and God, I feel bad, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was something my friend Angela from Little Monkey Designs had actually recommended to a lot of people in a indie business group that I was in. And God, I feel bad, I can't remember, but the company went under clearly, and so then we all kind of had to look for other alternatives, and I landed on Tailwind, which is, I've actually really liked. I have no affiliate with Tailwind. I heard about them through a business podcast years ago that I was listening to. Somebody that worked at Tailwind was on there and was talking about all of their Pinterest, because that's what I needed help with, was like Pinterest pin scheduling. And I need to do a whole video on Pinterest, because if you are in an indie handmade business or anything where there would be like a how-to, like Pinterest is really great, and I feel like not enough people talk about it, but I digress. That will be for another video. But I found Tailwind primarily as a Pinterest scheduler, and then they have grown and evolved to, they also do, it's an Instagram and a Facebook scheduler. So it's kind of the idea being one website where you can write good content yourself with your pictures, your images, what it is you're trying to get out there to promote, whatever your jewelry how-tos or whatever it is you're doing, and then get it scheduled to go out in all the places when you want to, basically with the idea that you could sit down and do it one time and then be like good to go for a week or a month, or, however much you scheduled out there. So this brings me to what I was fighting with today. Actually, if we're going to be honest, for like the past 3 weeks, but I finished it today. So long story short, I have, and I, like I said, I have screen shares I'm going to show you on all this. Facebook likes to buy everything. So as most of you probably know, Facebook bought Instagram, and then they tried to create the metaverse, which I have mixed feelings on personally. But long story short, Facebook and Instagram are like one big thing. And it used to be that they had kind of they both had their own separate back end, kind of how they operated. And they have, rightfully so, combined the back end. And it used to be called like Facebook Business Suites. And they have rebranded it so many times. And that's where it's gotten confusing, is basically you can tell that it is coded by a bunch of engineers, and so their minds and like our minds not always on the same page there. So it has gotten increasingly more complicated on the back end, and it is, so they've just renamed it, I swear, like 3 times. So now the current version when I'm filming this video is called Meta Business Suites, I think. And I'll show you what I'm talking about on there. And while it has, basically, it messed up an integration that I had set up. And then I've spent like 3 weeks trying to fix this integration that used to work through Tailwind and then was not working anymore. Or just for this one page. Like, it worked fine for everything else. But I will not bore you with the details on that. But through having to reset that up, I have actually been happy to notice that Meta Business Suites, or whatever it is they're calling it, now actually I feel like you can tell what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep people like me from using third-party schedulers. So they've basically created their own social media scheduler in this back end of Facebook Meta Business Suites, which is actually kind of nice, because now when my year is up with Tailwind, I may actually, especially if I can get something else going with Pinterest, so I'm off to go look at the back end of Pinterest, I guess, tomorrow, especially if I can figure out something else that makes me happy with Pinterest, I may actually cancel Tailwind, which I've had for years now, and I don't have anything bad to say about it. So, this is not me hating on Tailwind, but the Facebook Business Suites, basically you could go in now, which thank God I finally got set up where it's working right, where you can take one image, one thing that I've written, and if I want it to go out on both Instagram and my Facebook business page, I can schedule it to go out to both of them. You can even do different times, all from the back end of that. So this is all great news, because I don't have to pay for that, so that's great. And that could be great for you if you were starting out. And actually, if you were just starting out, it'd probably be easier, because you would be getting in on this fresh like it is now. So don't let all this scare you off. Whereas with me, I've been around doing this and have had all my own integrations and whatever, like Frankenstein together for, years now. So, I mean, basically, when your computer, your phone updates and then it gets a little glitchy, but then if you just buy a new phone, then it's fine. So if you're just starting out, good news, you're going to start out with it all working good. And if you have been around a while, you may have to continue watching this video, and I will hopefully save you some aggravation. So that's what I decided today's topic was going to be on, was, like I said, since I finally got this all straightened out, I was like, let me go ahead and make this, even though it's kind of boring and dry, because if I could save somebody else the annoyance that I went through for the past 3 weeks with just not clicking the right buttons, then it would be worth it being kind of a boring video. So let's go check out the back end of some things. All right, so for Facebook, you want to click up here on your profile picture, and it'll give you a drop-down menu of anything that you would have a business page of. So here's my business page. This is basically letting you interact like you would as an individual person, but on behalf of a brand. So you can see it's got, I'm not even sure what this is, it's basically generic news stuff. You also have over here this Meta Business Suite button, which is the one that I was talking about that is kind of a new thing. So if you click on that, it takes you to a similar yet totally different back-end experience, and you want to make sure that it does indeed say Meta Business Suite on it somewhere. And this basically gives you access to ads, a content planner, your inbox for both Instagram and Facebook. So you can see different posts that are actually already on my Instagram. So if you wanted to cross-post, like I was talking about, you would want to have it set up where your Instagram and Facebook was there. You could add a photo. You could write your text. It looks like it gives you a lot of options. I'm still kind of learning this because I've always used the other, but it's got this great schedule feature. What you're looking at here is Tailwind, which was the other website I was telling you about. It gives you very similar schedule capabilities for, an Instagram, a Pinterest, and a Facebook page. Very similar idea. Add a picture, write your caption. I do like that Tailwind gives you this great help with kind of predicted or what they think would be good hashtags. You can schedule things out at times that they think your audience is online. You can see your previous grid if you were really wanting to get into planning. Tailwind has all sorts of capabilities. Please note that there is a difference between this business portfolio and then your actual business page. Your business page is going to be umbrellaed under your business portfolio, and all of those things have to match up, or else you can't get the integrations right. So, long story short, I'm back at my desk editing these videos, and I sure hope that some of that was helpful. I didn't want to just end the video so abruptly when I ran out of clips there. Basically, the most important thing you need to know is that there's a difference between different ways to schedule social media, and they can be incredibly helpful, incredibly liberating, give you so much time back, especially if you're trying to work around having kids, having family, having sports, having another job, having many other things. It kind of gives you the feeling of having the support of a staff without actually having to have a staff. The one thing you do need to make sure you do correctly is just keep in mind that technology and especially things online are constantly updating, and they are improving. Half the time it's for the better, but you may hit, and you just have to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. You're gonna hit times, I've hit a million times like this throughout the 8 years I've been in business, where something is going along, it's working, and it's great, and then all of a sudden it's it's broken, and then you have to spend more time than you want to trying to fix it. What I ended up doing to actually get this fixed, and I wish I'd done it sooner, I was very stubborn. I can very much be a dog with a bone. And at this point, I have that problem of I feel like I'm smart enough that I should be able to figure it out. So I just, with the back end of the Facebook Meta Business Suite thing, because things weren't integrated correctly, we'd had kind of a broken connection, I just kept clicking buttons and trying to come at it from this way and trying to come at it from that way. And I just kept almost thinking that I had it. And I did not. What I ended up having to do, and what I would suggest you do quicker than what I ended up doing, was I just ended up, and you can find it like you can on any website, just literally clicking in the Facebook business profile, Meta Suite, whatever it is they're calling it, find the help section, and you are going to have to click help. And any website, it's what do you need help on and what topic, and enter all the little things that they ask you to give them information on. And then when you finally get down, it's like sending in a request. And I know that very much, especially if you're me and you've got to the point where you're very impatient and irritated with it at that point, can feel like you are sending something out into the internet and you're like, well, great, they're never actually going to get back to me. I am here to tell you that they did actually get back to me. I ended up doing that with both Tailwind and with Facebook Meta for kind of two related but different issues. They both got back to me very quickly via email. And then I emailed back and forth with a nice person from the Facebook Metaverse. And they were super patient with me. I sent them screenshots of error messages I was getting, and they really did a lot of the legwork and a lot of the aggravation. And instead, they didn't treat me like I was stupid. We got it resolved because this person helped me, and I never would have gotten it resolved otherwise. So that's the happy ending. And I guess what I wanted you to know was, don't be me and don't spend 3 weeks clicking buttons thinking that I've done this before, I can do it again. Just get help. Just click the help button, put in your information. They will get back to you on it. And they are evolving things constantly, so that's to be expected, that I'm not the first person with these questions.